Your team can't function without you. Every decision routes through you, and you can't take a real vacation because the second you're gone, everything stalls and the text messages start coming in. And the part that nobody tells you is that you built that problem. You didn't build it on purpose, but you did build it. And in the next 10 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how leaders turn themselves into the bottleneck and the one single shift that can get you out. I'm Jayson Krause, and I train leaders to lead like coaches. I wrote the book, The Science Behind Success, and I've watched hundreds of capable, hardworking leaders hit the exact same ceiling. And it's almost never because they're lazy or they're bad at their job. In fact, it's the opposite. They're the bottleneck because they are really, really good at their work. Let me show you how this trap actually closes, and I want you to picture how you might spend a normal day. Someone brings you a problem, and you solve it. Something's not up to the standard that you think it should be, and you fix it yourself because it's faster. Or a decision needs to be made. It comes to you, and because you're the one who knows, you solve it. Every one of these moments feels really responsible. It feels like you're in the act of leadership. And every one of these will quietly train your team to bring you the next problem instead of solving it themselves. You're not managing the work. You've become the middleman for the work, and nothing moves without you in the loop. And so when you sit there at 7 p.m. wondering why the people on your team don't just take ownership, the truth is you've made it impossible for them to. Here's what's usually going on underneath. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. That's the good thing. If we simplify it, there are two completely different ways to lead. And you're likely defaulting to the one that's burning you out. And the first way is what I call transactional leadership. Transactional leadership is about the work. What's getting done? How fast is it getting done? When is it getting done? And it's not like transactions don't matter. They matter. They keep the lights on and the doors open. The problem is when it becomes the primary way or the only way that you lead. Because here's the thing about transactional leaders. Transactional leaders spend their time. That's the whole strategy. Your currency is time, and you spend all of it fixing problems, doing the work, taking the work back when the quality isn't there. And a spending strategy can feel really productive because things come off the list. But the problem with the spending strategy is you run out. There's only so much time to spend. And when you spend all of it on the work, you have nothing left but a deficit of time and energy. And worse, the people on your team never grow because you keep doing all of it for them. Transactional is spending. It's a spending strategy, whereas transformational is an investing strategy. So that's the second way, transformational leadership. And transformational leaders do something fundamentally different. They don't focus on the work. They focus on the person doing the work, not the trajectory of the task, the trajectory of the human engaging in that task. And they don't spend their time, they invest it. They take the time that most leaders say they don't have, and they put it into growing the capability of their people. They put it into growing the asset. Yes, I'm not going to say it doesn't cost more upfront, but guess what? Investing always does. Letting someone struggle through a problem is slower than solving it yourself today. But like an investment, it compounds. The person gets better. Next time, they don't need as much of you. And slowly, you stop being the bottleneck because the capability now lives in your team instead of trapped inside your own head. Transactional leaders work in the business. Transformational leaders work on the people in the business. Now, you might be thinking, okay, but some things I genuinely need to handle myself, and that might perfectly be true. And I'm not telling you to never solve a problem again. I'm drawing two extremes on purpose so you can ask yourself or find yourself on the line between them. So let's do that honestly right now. I want I want you to ask yourself 2 questions and then answer them honestly, not aspirationally, not how I wish I would respond to things or how I want to be in the future, but a real current state analysis. The first one, where do you honestly spend most of your time? Is it on the work or is it on the people doing the work? Where do you spend most of your time? Now, part 2 of that question, and this is really the one that tells the truth, and that's, what do you default to when you're stressed out? Because under pressure, everyone will revert. And almost every leader that I've worked with, when the heat is on, will grab the work back. They grab the task. They go full steam transactional. And that stress response is an indicator of your real leadership, not the version of you in a calm afternoon Tuesday one-to-one walking meeting. So here's what I want you to do. For the next 3 days, I want you to observe yourself. Don't change anything, just observe. Notice every time you step in and do something that the people on your team could have done. Notice what you reach for when you're stressed out. Watch other leaders around you. What are they doing? Are they transactional? Are they transformational? Build that observational awareness, because that's it. Awareness comes first. You can't change a pattern that you can't see. So first, let's seek to observe the pattern. And here's what happens when you start making the shift. You stop putting out fires because you stop being that prized firefighter. You become less reactive, and mistakes stop being disasters that you turn the alarm, you signal the alarm on, and that you have to clean up. And you start becoming the exact moments where you start helping your people grow their awareness and their ability. Another thing is you get your time back. And it's not because you've found any special hacks or that you've worked harder or that you've worked longer hours, but because simply you made the choice to stop hoarding the work yourself. You stop being the bottleneck by investing your time instead of spending your time. Knowing the difference between transactional and transformational, that's step 1. Doing it in the moment when someone's standing in your doorway with a problem is a skill that you have to develop. And there's a specific way to handle the exact moment without taking the work back. And there's one move that makes all of this actually work in the moment. That's in another video. I'll link it in the description. But if you want to lead like a coach instead of a bottleneck, then subscribe to this channel. That's the whole point of the work that I do. And one question, answer in the comments. When you're stressed out, what do you default to? Is it spending or is it investing? Let me know, and make sure to come back here for more. I'll see you in the next one.